I hope your day is full of mozzarella sticks and onion rings and waffle fries. You gotta have waffle fries and curly fries. If it came down to waffle fries or curly fries, that'd be tough. I think I'm going waffle, though. I hope your day's full of tater tots. Tater tots are gross. You don't see tater tots in most major cities. Tater tots are like what they give you when you live in Kentucky for lunch. They're like, here you go. Have a sandwich and then some tots. What's up, my little shanksters, my babies, my honeys, my sweetie pies? It is I, Shank. I am here on this fine Wednesday for another episode of Shank. Today's episode is with the one, the only Corinne Fisher. It's a great conversation. You guys are going to love it. But before we get into this week's episode of Shank with Corinne Fisher, there's just a few things I want to tell you about. Okay. First, on December 9th, I will be at Jam in the Van doing Jessime Paluzzo's show. That's in LA. You can find out more info about that on my Instagram at Princess Shank. That's princess like normal and then another SHENK. I will also be at the Brea Improv on December 21st, 2022. If you're in Southern California for the holidays, come out. I'm co-headlining with Kim Congdon. And then, of course, the two of us are coming to Austin. Yeehaw! Bring out your cowboy hats. January 6th, 2023. Kim Congdon and I are doing a live episode of This Bitch podcast live from Vulcan Gas Co. And also we are co-headlining. So if you're in the Texas area and you haven't seen your girls do a live podcast or do a longer set, this is your chance. Also, I believe on January 9th, we will be at Kill Tony. And then at the end of January, I believe it's January 27th, we will be in Yuma, Arizona. So if you're in Arizona, come out, support live comedy. All of that and more info at Princess Shank on Instagram, at Princess Shank on Twitter. I always put up show links and all of that on all my social media as well. Okay, so before we get into this episode of Shank, I just want to tell you something that excites me, and that's socks. Oh, yeah. Look down at your feet right now. Are you wearing boring socks? Do your socks have holes in them? Are they gross and yellow? Are they dirty? Are they boring? Nobody wants to wear boring socks. You know, when I get dressed in the morning and I put on a pair of Oh Yeah socks, I instantly feel happy. Why is that, you ask? Because Oh Yeah socks has so many amazing designs to choose from. Whether you're into Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, Elves, Norman Rockwell, food, frogs, ducks, donuts, there's a pair of socks for you. My favorites are the aliens, and right now I got some really cute gnome ones, and I'm always styling them on my Instagram. So if you're looking for ways to wear them, follow me at Princess Shank. Head over to ohyeah.com. Support the people who support the show. I love these socks so much. They've been a sponsor for so long, and I love giving them out as gifts for people, especially for the holidays. They make great stocking stuffer gifts, if you're going to a party and you need a little gift for someone, buy them a pair of socks, and you can personalize them depending on what your friend's into. So head over to ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's HYEAH.com. Discount code Sara, SARA 10 for 10% off unique sock designs. All right, guys. Also, please remember, new episodes of Shank come out every Wednesday right here on my YouTube, also on Spotify and iTunes. And then This Bitch podcast with Kim Congdon comes out every Monday. So if you're a certified Shankster, you can find me twice a week on YouTube. And then I post all kinds of things on my social media as well. Also, patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk. You get This Bitch podcast a week early, plus bonus content, ad-free. And all right, guys, thanks for being here. Let's get into this week's episode of Shank with the one, the only Corinne Fisher. Here it is, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is the one, the only Corinne Fisher.
Hello.
Hi, I'm so happy to have you on my podcast.
I'm so happy to be here, and I love that we're sitting so oddly far apart from one another.
I know, because I was like, should I move over? And Natalie's like, no, this is better.
Yeah, I think it's best for the video, probably.
Yeah, but it does feel weird.
It does feel distant.
It feels very far. It feels kind of almost therapy-ish.
Yeah.
Do you go to therapy?
I do. I've never gone in person, though. I've only gone on Zoom.
Really?
I've never touched my therapist, or she could smell for all I know.
No.
Yeah, and wouldn't that be weird if you met your therapist and she smelled weird? I'd be out.
Do you think you'll ever go into the physical office?
She lives in Florida.
What?
She's licensed in Florida and New York, and she currently resides in Florida.
So your therapist is a Floridian. That's a plot twist for me.
She is not. She wasn't born in Florida. I wouldn't trust that person.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, are we sure about this therapist?
No. Although I will say, one of the people I love the most in the world was born in Florida. So,
really?
Yeah.
Kim was born in Florida. I stand by what I said. I would not trust a therapist from Florida.
Yeah, probably not a therapist.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think she was born in California, but spent most of her time in New York and then moved to Florida.
That's crazy. You've never gone in person. When did you start going to her? After the pandemic?
No, it had nothing to do with the pandemic. It was because I started therapy on Talkspace because we were just doing ads for it on Guys We Fucked, and doing Guys We fucked with my head because people just sent us very long graphic accounts of rape time and time again. And I was like, I feel like I need someone to help me with this, even though this feels ridiculous because I myself wasn't raped.
Yeah, but if everyone's just
I felt like a baby bitch. I was like, hey guys, I wasn't raped, but I just like read a lot of rape stories in it. And then my therapist was like, yeah, that's secondhand trauma. I go, seems a little weak, but
seems a little weak. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I felt like a real weak bitch going in because I heard too many rape stories.
Like, I wasn't raped per se.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I do mine on FaceTime, but my therapist is very old.
Woman or man?
Man. And I'm afraid he's on his way out. Because then I'm going to need a new therapist.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think he's overcharging me for what he's doing.
For what he's doing?
The phone calls are very short.
Oh, like how long?
Like 20 minutes. He's like, anything else? He's not pulling anything out of me. I go, no, that's it.
Oh, mine's like 45, 55 minutes.
Yeah, so you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah. My therapist likes me too much, though, to the point where I think it's getting in the way of the healing.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, I could just tell, like, she, like, likes me and just enjoy. Like, I feel like we're just two gals gossiping over tea.
But do you feel good when you make your therapist laugh?
There's
There's something mentally wrong with me. I'm like...
I feel good when I make anyone laugh.
When I get my therapist laughing, because he's like an old 74-year-old,
yeah,
no greater feeling. And then I'm like, maybe you should be paying me.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. I also like that you have the reach as a young woman that you can, you're such a good comic that your demographic includes 74-year-old men, which is not an easy audience, as any comic knows.
74-year-old Jewish old man.
They've heard it all.
Yeah, he's seen it all.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but okay, what about, my question is this.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on motherhood? Do you want to be a mom?
No. I actually had a nightmare this week that I somehow went against myself, got pregnant, was keeping the child, and I woke up in a panic and sad that I turned my back on myself.
Really?
Yes.
So it's like you 100% don't want it.
Yeah, no. I mean, the only way... Okay, so here's the scenario, because I never like to completely shut a door on something, mostly because then everyone who listens to podcasts will be like, on November 15th, 2022.
Yeah.
But I'm on record a lot. So basically, I would have to I would have to fall in love with a man who I really felt would like be there and be a great dad, and he would have to we would get married, and then he would have to agree to be the house husband.
See, I'm into that too.
Then I would carry the kid.
That's the only way I would do it too.
Yeah.
But I don't want to carry the kid.
I know.
I want the kid, but I don't want to.
Well, get a surrogate.
I know. I need to make enough money.
Yeah.
To
What's
get
that?
A surrogate.
It's like 20,000, I think.
I think it's more. I think it's like closer to 100.
Really? Well, I think you can. Well, I think you can just negotiate, but it's like, and then you start questioning: do I want my child carried by the Walmart surrogate?
No, I mean,
Probably
if she's
not.
young.
Yeah. Because I know a surrogate, and I believe I asked her what the cost was because I have no boundaries.
You did?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, with stuff like that, I don't have boundaries because I just turned it into a podcast all of a sudden. And also, it's like it felt like she wanted to tell me.
Surrogates love talking about how they're surrogates.
They do.
But they're also...
They're like nurses. They let everyone know that they're a hero.
Yeah, they're like, I'm carrying babies. They're not even mine.
Yeah, you go, this seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, it would be so resentful.
I would like, how many births can you go through before your body? I mean, it's because having a baby, we don't talk about this enough. And it's one of my favorite topics to bring up is like, it's putting your body through trauma.
No, I've seen my friends have babies and I'm like, I don't want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
They call me, they're like, I'm swollen. I'm like, I can't imagine because I'm a nightmare before my period. The thought of being like 9 months pregnant and you drop your keys and your belly's in the way and you can't get it. Like,
yeah.
And being on stage pregnant.
Yeah. That sounds very uncomfortable.
Right? And like going to a comedy club pregnant.
And you're walking around so slow for like several months. I'd be like, I need to get going here.
And then also for me, it was like the weight issue.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, now I got to lose the weight.
That would be I have
so many issues around that.
Me too. I struggle so much to keep what I call a mediocre body.
Same.
It would be a nightmare.
That would be a nightmare.
And I think that's fine. People like, because the minute you bring something like that up, everyone starts calling you vain. But I go, I wonder who made me vain. Probably all the people calling me a fat, whore in my comments
online
for the past 10 years.
Yeah. Or like, and they'll be like, oh, average looking.
Right.
Like, I'm like, oh, it does look big in that thing. Thanks for calling it out, though.
Or also the fact that, like, depending on if I'm 20 pounds thinner, the amount, like, I get so many more auditions and career opportunities. It's not I'm not making it up in my head.
That's what's really fucked up.
It's true. It's just the truth.
It's hard to be in entertainment.
Yes.
And then be like, oh, now I don't know. But then I'm also afraid that I'll close the door on it. Just because I'm in
motherhood?
Just because I'm in entertainment and then I won't be able to go back.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Christina Pazinski about it and she was like, don't let the entertainment industry get in the way of you, doing what you want to do.
No, of course. And
then I'm like, but it is in the way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's also like.
She also met Tom when she was pretty young. And I mean, I always think like we talk about on Guys We Fuck that a lot of people, especially women, like make plans before they meet the people that they are going to have the plans with. So like they decide arbitrarily that they want to get married and have kids. But like, how can you just decide that you want to get married if you never met a person that you wanted to marry? That's a really crazy concept to me. It's like when people say, do you want to get married? I go, if I meet someone I'd like to marry.
But it's also the societal brainwashing standards of like, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, when are we going to redefine that?
When men stop using it as a weapon against us to control us.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's what they're doing. It's a constant, conversation, and Gas Digital fans really are notorious for it, for just like saying that you have less value as a woman if you are single and childless.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel like that sometimes. The way that society makes you feel about it.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time undoing that, so I don't feel like that. The child thing was just never an issue for me. Because I think about like, what did I want when I was a little girl? And the only thing I did when I was a little girl, I used to tell people that I wanted to adopt kids because I thought it was a nice thing to do. But to me, it just seemed like, how as like a little kid, you don't overthink things. It just seemed to me like, oh, well, there are already kids without homes and without parents there to take care of them. Why wouldn't I just take in some of those kids?
Right.
Why would I make my own?
Because people rescue dogs all the time.
Exactly.
Left and right.
I try to joke about that. The audience didn't
like it. They didn't.
But conceptually, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, my grandpa was adopted as an older child, like at like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And I always think that it would be nice to do. But then I'm also like, what if you adopt one and then you have one?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm just like,
you gotta adopt the one first, so the adopted one doesn't feel adopted.
That's what I mean.
I've thought out this strategy.
That's the thing, though. You spend a lot of time making the adopted one feel not adopted.
Or you just always let them know. Like, so I went to school with a kid named Randall, and he knew he was adopted from a young age, and always it was always just a thing that he knew, and all his classmates knew. And honestly, we thought it was cool. We thought he was cooler than us because he was adopted. Yeah. And so they didn't make it a thing. Like, his parents just told him from day one. And I think it's basically like how you selling it to the kid.
Dude, I babysat for this kid that was in an open adoption. So he would see his biological dad, but then he was with the new family, and he was a fucking nightmare.
I've never heard that terminology before.
It's some LA shit. They're like, an open adoption. Yeah. We're like, yeah, this is confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
He was so scary. Have you ever babysat?
Yes, not a ton, but yes.
Nightmare. This kid was evil. He'd call me a stupid bitch. And I was literally scared of him. And then he'd lock himself in the room and listen to Eminem like on loud.
How old was he?
He was like 10 or 11, but he had the angst of a teen that was just found out that they were adopted.
But I was like, he had the angst of a teen that was in an open adoption.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. So I only babysat a little bit, but I did work at a daycare center when I was in college as part of a work-study program, and I had a lot of kids that seemingly had that kind of angst, and one kid did call me a bitch as well, and first I laughed, which was not the right response, but it was funny, and he wasn't incorrect. And then I had to tell his mom, and I had to like pretend that I was like angry about it.
Yeah.
But but really I was just like, number one, laughing, and then number two was sad because it's like, if he's calling me a bitch, obviously it's because he's hearing language like that at home. He was considerably younger. He was like 5 or 6 years old. So it's like, well, obviously he called me a bitch because he heard someone call you a bitch, and now I'm concerned about both of you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And also, I mean, just having the thought of doing like a parent-teacher conference, that appeals to me zero.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm still recovering from school. Do you have that feeling towards school?
No, I was like a teacher's pet. Perfect,
you were?
100, straight A's. Everyone loved me. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
the whole time?
The teachers, yes.
The whole time.
Yeah.
You were getting good grades.
Yes.
It was just easy for you?
No, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was like, that's the one thing about my childhood that I would say is like, I had a pretty good childhood, but that's the one negative, is that perfection was constantly expected of me, which seems very heavy to me. It wasn't that heavy, but like I had to get it. Like to me, it was not a choice for me to get an A. I had to get A's
from your parents.
Yes.
What happens if you didn't get an A?
I got a B. Like I'm still traumatized by the B I got in like math.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my parents were like, just pass.
No,
it's fine.
Oh my God, no.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anything under like a 90% on a quiz or a test.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, your parents would have hated me. I came home one time I got a math test back. It was like a 25%. I'll never forget, because I thought
math is hard, man.
Math to this day, I can't do it at fucking all.
Well, and it's funny because my dad got a perfect math SAT score. So to have a daughter that was not good at math, I mean, he would just laugh at me. He used to like, as a joke, ask me like pretty simple math questions, through adulthood. And I never got them right.
That's crazy.
I own a store now, and like me struggling to do basic math in front of children buying baseball cards is so, I'm sweating.
Yeah, because either you're number minded or you're not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Did you go to college?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go?
I went to the School of Visual Arts right here in New York on 23rd Street.
Oh, cool.
So it's a art school. I have a film degree.
Cool.
Film directing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Do you want to direct? Do you direct?
Yeah, I did. I did, I did like an off Broadway show, and then I did some web series, and then I kind of found comedy pretty quickly, so I got a little sidetracked with stand-up, but I just went back to it, and I directed Christina in my stand-up special, which my agent pushed me to do, and I was happy that he did.
That's awesome.
And so I'm trying to get back into that a little bit more, because that really is like the dream. I love bossing people around. It's the perfect profession for me.
I could see you perfect as a director. Yeah, I love that. What about, okay, I know you're not really a woo-woo person.
I'm kind of like,
you dabble.
Yeah, I would say I'm very interested in woo-woo, but also hesitant that it's real. But I'm very interested in it. And specifically Wicca, I've always been into since I was a kid. But like astrology is like, and then crystals, no.
Crystals is
a hard no for me. Yeah, I can't with the crystals. Tarot I'm very into.
Yeah, tarot's the best. Yeah. But also, what are your thoughts on past lives?
I think we had them. We have them, yeah. Although I've done a past life regression,
okay,
and it just felt like I was making up a story.
What happened?
I mean,
how does that work?
Well, because so they put you into like a meditation that's supposed to put you so deep. You're supposed to meditate so deeply that it puts you in a trance. I don't know how to get to that state. So I mean, like, I'm doing everything, and I really do try to take the thing seriously, because why would I do it if I'm not going to take it seriously? That's a waste of everyone's time. But and then they're like pushing you to. They're like, just say whatever comes to mind. And it's like, well, I have a creative mind. Like, I'm just going to make up a story. I don't know. It just felt like things were coming out of my mouth, but I don't.
You didn't feel, you're not
I don't
sure.
know how real that was.
So did you pay someone to do a past life regression, or did you do like a meditation on YouTube?
I had like a spiritual guide. That's the most LA thing I've ever said for like last year, because I had like I like basically employed a bunch of people because my dad was dying and I was losing my mind. So I had my therapist, my spiritual guide, and then this like third psychic.
Oh, hell yeah.
Medium who again, I'm a little bit like back and forth with psychics, but this woman has a gift. Like this woman is, you have to like know someone to even get to her, and this woman has a gift.
That's how the good ones are.
She like knew the moment my dad died and texted me, like the moment. Stunning.
Ooh, that's like goosebumps.
Yeah. And so I did it. It was one of the things I did with this spiritual guide, as part of like a several week course that we were doing together. That she was kind of like working out because she had just like discovered her abilities. But again, it's like
you're a new witch.
You're a new witch. I don't know. It's someone I met through Guys We Fuck podcast, but like, and she definitely has like a good energy, and she's developing her gifts, but like it's not her so much. I just don't know if I believe in past life regression at all. Like I've read about it. I'm not sure.
For me, I'm like, okay, what do you think you were in a past life if you had to guess?
Well, one woman told me that I was like a theater actor, like a revered theater actor.
I could see that.
But then this other the past life regression, we went through several lifetimes. It kind of told me that I was just like I kind of always like a bad girl. And like okay. I always felt like maybe I was a witch, but I wasn't, according to the past life regression, a witch. I was just someone who kind of often hangs out with people who are not really allowed in society. And I'm kind of like the liaison between society and these outcasts of society, which does make sense in my present life, because I myself like have never been totally an outcast because I can function amongst normal people, but
Same.
I prefer not to because they're boring and stupid.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. But it's not like I am shunned from society. It's almost like I shun society.
That makes sense, because you're like, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, you guys suck.
Like very goth.
Like I would sit purposely with the weird kids at the cafeteria, but not because I had to, because I wanted to, because they were more interesting.
Because they are more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a lot of different groups of friends. And then it's weird when you have different groups of friends and then you have like a birthday and you put all your different groups of friends into a room, and they're like, they don't know how to function with each other because they would never normally be together.
For me as an adult, it was just gay men in comics who actually get along quite well because they all have terrible substance abuse problems.
Yeah. Gay men in comics. That's hilarious.
The gay men are the only people who give comics a run for their money party-wise.
That's so true.
Yeah.
My friend works at a hair salon, and everyone who works at our hair salon, I'm like, everyone here is mentally ill. It feels like I'm at the Comedy Store. Every time I come to the hair salon, there's gossip, there's drama.
So much gossip at the hair salon.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
The gossip at the hair salon is amazing too, especially like an LA hair salon. And the bitches in the hair salon, the best people watching. Best people watching. Yeah, I have a feeling, and I don't know why. I feel like I was a housewife, like a 1950s housewife in a previous life.
What gave you that feeling?
Because every time I'm like stuck in the house and I have to clean, I feel like I need to escape. I feel trapped. I don't know. And I have this weird affinity for things that happened in the 1950s. Like I love that time period.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird.
Yeah, you don't really dress like that.
No.
Huh.
Like I'm obsessed with the 1950s.
Interesting. Something's calling you to it.
Something's calling me to it. And it feels very familiar.
Okay.
Did you watch Don't Worry, Darling?
No, I thought I was going to see it in the theater, and then I ended up watching a bunch of horror movies during that time, and I was going to watch it on HBO the other day, and I was like, it just looked too long, and the reviews weren't that good.
It's whatever.
I just like, I was interested in the gossip surrounding it.
Yeah, the Harry Styles Spitgate situation.
Yeah, but then I'm not that interested in Harry Styles or, what's her name?
Florence. or Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde. And so like I have to be more invested in either of those celebrities to be invested in the drama. And I kind of just wasn't invested at all.
I'm into Harry Styles and the fact that I think he's hot, but I'm not like a Harry Styles stan. Some of these bitches, they see Harry Styles, they lose their fucking minds.
To me, it feels like he tried too hard to curate that image, and I'm not into it. Like,
yes, it's forced.
Yeah, it's like I see what you're doing.
He's got the purse.
I'm gonna put a boa on. Okay, cool.
Okay, question. And this was an experience that happened to me recently. I went on a date. The guy had a purse. It threw me off completely.
Like what kind? Like a one that a strap over here, or like a on the shoulder?
It was like a strap over here, but it was so similar to the purse that I was wearing that it was making me feel weird.
Okay.
And I couldn't let it go. No, this is just business as usual. He's got his purse.
Okay. And what was his aesthetic beyond the purse? Like, was he?
I honestly, when sometimes you go on one date and that's just enough.
Yeah, I don't really.
I haven't
date
thought of him until
very often.
You don't?
No, because of that.
The feeling.
Because of the purses and the
the PTSD from the dates.
I think it's crazy to want love so bad that you eat dinner with a stranger. That's a crazy concept to me. That's actually a
genius.
I'm not even, like I don't
I'd
want
rather
it enough.
eat dinner alone.
Oh my God, yes.
Eating dinner alone is the best.
I mean, yes. Well, yeah.
Being in your own space.
In your underwear, really get into it.
Yeah, we're like, I can do whatever I want.
I never really fully enjoy a meal unless I'm doing it half naked in my living room.
Yeah, or sometimes do you eat in bed?
I try not to, but every now and again I will.
When I'm in a depression,
yeah,
catch me in my underwear with food.
Ugh.
Crumbs in the bed, nothing darker than crumbs in the bed.
Yeah, I know. It's like so itchy.
Having to clean the crumbs out because, I
have a dog, so my dog usually kind of vacuums for me.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Having a dog is great. Yeah,
I know. Same.
And I'll be very weird. Like during COVID, I got very, very close with my dog, so it'll be like bite.
Yeah.
Like not we're not sharing a bite. I'm not that far gone yet. But I'll like give him pieces as I go, and like we're just like best friends watching TV.
Yeah, no. During COVID, I got really close to my dog too, and then I would like kiss him and forget, and I'd have lipstick on, and he'd have like a lipstick mark on him, like somebody's grandma came over, like crazy.
I love that.
Yeah. So okay. If you had to go to a deserted island...
Are these just coming for your head, or did you write these?
No, these are coming from my head. If you had to go to a deserted island and you had to bring 5 things, what are you bringing?
Oh, my God. I haven't answered this question in years. Can it be living things?
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely my dog. And I guess, like, food and all that kind of stuff is accounted for. I'm guessing this is, like, 5 interesting things.
Yeah, 5 interesting things.
So my dog... this is so corny. My comedy notebook.
Okay.
God, what? I would say a guy to fuck, but he would annoy me and I'd end up killing him. So I guess not.
A vibrator?
No, I don't use vibrators. I only use my finger.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a pretty easy cum, so I can't be using vibrators. Actually make me seasick.
Wait, what?
I don't like the feeling of vibrating on my clit. I don't like.
It makes you seasick. Mm-hmm. Take a Dramamine real quick before.
Yes. I don't like it at all. I just use my finger.
Really?
Uh-huh.
One finger?
Uh-huh.
Just one?
Uh-huh. Sometimes 2, but really just one.
I don't think I've ever used just one finger. Interesting.
Well, are you inserting it? Or I just literally rub the clit. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I rub the clit, but I use 2 fingers.
Very into it. Yeah, I mean, like every now and then I'll do 2, but usually just
one.
Yeah.
And no vibrator. Okay, so you're not bringing a vibrator.
No, definitely not bringing a vibrator. Wouldn't waste it on that.
Your dog, okay, because you have your hands.
God. A TV?
A TV on the island? I like it.
I like TV and I'm not ashamed of it. And then, what else would I bring? I don't even know. Maybe like my baton.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I feel like I would want some kind of a physical activity, and on an island alone, the baton would probably be my best bet.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's back up for a second.
Yeah.
The baton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Feels like it would be fun to do on an island alone.
Yeah.
And then, because I'm like, I need something to motivate me to do some kind of a physical activity. Obviously, I would be swimming, but then I think also the baton.
So,
because I would like you'd have a lot of time alone, and then you could use it to work on the things that you want to work on, but that you never have time to. And I think a baton would be good, and then also maybe a trampoline.
Oh, a trampoline! I bought one during the pandemic.
Me too. I love jumping. Since I was a little kid and I took gymnastics classes, just there to me, I could jump for hours. I find it very entertaining.
I would jump and then I would fly off. And it was scary.
Wait, in the trampoline that you bought during the pandemic?
Yeah, I was at my parents' house with the trampoline, and my mom would like come out and be like, "Be careful!" And it was like, okay, how old am I? 12?
Big one or
it was a mini one?
Yeah, I had a mini one too. So I love trampolines so much that I actually discovered that there's in-ground trampolines, and I looked into getting one inserted in my backyard. And then everyone said that's gonna fuck up your backyard and the value of your property. And I said, I guess everyone here hates fun.
I guess
that
sounds so fun,
right?
Yeah, that does.
It sounds incredible.
Wait, so you have a baton. I want to back up to this because as a kid, I remember watching parades. And that's the only time you really see baton twirling happening.
And that's also a bit different. Like that's like Grand Marshal or like color guard baton twirling. I feel like the kind of baton twirling that I did was more like professional team level.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
There's like actual like baton competitions, the same where there's cheerleading competitions.
Were you deep into this culture?
Yeah, I was a varsity baton twirler. I went to Miss Patty's Dolls baton twirling school.
Are you kidding?
No.
Corinne.
Look at Google it. It's a real thing.
This is fucking blowing my mind.
It's just not very common in this part of the country, but in the South, baton twirling is very big. It's not super big in the Northeast, but I discovered it at this like arts summer camp that I used to go to since I was a little girl, and I fell in love with it. So then I went to the Patty's Doll School, and then I started competing professionally. And then in high school, I got on the varsity baton twirling team. I have a varsity letter for baton twirling.
No, you don't.
Oh, I do.
What was the school called? Miss Patty's?
Patty's Dolls baton twirling
that
school.
That sounds made up.
It does, but it's not.
What would happen?
I know Patty.
You do?
Yeah. Yep.
What would happen at baton twirling? They just teach you how to hold it, how to twirl it.
Yeah, you do full routines the same as like you would with like a dance routine, but just you have a baton.
Interesting. Do you like dancing?
No.
Me either.
That's why I need to get the baton incorporated.
That's what I mean. Like the baton seems like a fun thing to hide behind.
Yeah.
That's why I like hula hooping.
Ooh, I was just never very good at that. I was always impressed because Alex Scarlato is very good at hula hooping. I like her hula hoop videos.
Yeah, during the pandemic,
good.
I was hula hooping.
Yeah,
I was doing hula hoop live streams. People were Venmoing me. I'm like,
oh my god,
keep this up.
I'm sad I missed these. I gotta go look back.
I'll repost.
Yeah, Christina has. When I was on acid at Skankfest, I started twirling. Someone had rolled up one of my posters and given it to me, and I started twirling it. And she has a video of it, and like I was like, oh, that's pretty good considering it's like paper. You know, a baton is metal because you really need the weight of it. But yeah,
so it just came back to you naturally.
Yeah. I mean, I did it for so long that I'll always have, I would think, some baton twirling skill. I twirled fire.
What?
Yeah, that's what we used to do for the halftime show at my high school. So at football games, like the cheerleaders would be on the sidelines, but then the twirlers would go and do a halftime show. And at the sides, there was like, you know, whatever, like cloth on it. And then you dip them in kerosene and you'd ignite it. And it was fun because it would burn all my arm hair off.
No.
But I liked that.
You would just do that during halftime, twirl a baton
with fire. Yeah.
My school would never let that fly.
Yeah, my school was like, sure.
What?
I mean, it was outside.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much about you. I had no idea you were going to say the baton thing. It's really, really exciting to me. Miss Patty's Doll School.
Yeah, it's really fun. It brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah, what other activities did you do as a kid?
I mean, the classics. So I did like gymnastics. I did do dance, swimming at the Boys and Girls Club, basketball at the Boys and Girls Club, volleyball at the Boys and Girls Club. And then like I did a lot of activities in high school. Like I was in Future Business Leaders of America, the school play, the school newspaper, yearbook. I'm a real overachiever.
You were in a lot of activities at school, not me.
Yeah. I would like never be home from school until like 5 o'clock at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock.
I think that's good though. I always think when I look back on my childhood and I see that there's kids that are very scheduled, I feel like it's a good skill to get when you're young because eventually as an adult, you have to be scheduled.
Yeah. I guess maybe in retrospect, I was just like a little tired out by the time it really mattered because like all those activities, like they tell you, oh my God, it's going to matter so much. Like you need it for your resume. And it's like, do you could basically just start achieving junior year of high school and you're fine. Like you didn't need to do it all the years before. You don't need to achieve in middle school.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's dumb.
I was like, who are you trying to impress?
Exactly.
What was your middle school vibe?
My middle school vibe was like, I did the school play, but I was just like, I would hang out with girls who would like, we would choreograph Spice Girls dances in my friend's basement or like put on makeup. Or like one thing we did was I remember we used to dress up in costumes. This makes me sound really weird. We would dress up in costumes and like one time we went and handed out flowers to people at a movie theater.
No.
One time we went Christmas caroling in July. We would just make up like kind of silly things to do, or we would like make a short film but like take it way too seriously.
That's fun.
Yeah, we were just always doing creative stuff. I never drank or did drugs or anything like that until way, 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 way later. Like not even in college I wasn't doing that.
Really?
Not until after I graduated college. Drugs I didn't do until I was 30, and I didn't drink until I was graduated from college.
That's crazy. I started drinking when I was 14.
I think that's more common. I think I'm the weird one.
And then I was like, I don't think I like this. But I went. But it's weird because it's so normalized, especially in college.
Yeah.
It's so normalized. They normalize alcoholism. They're like,
yeah,
we're getting fucked up. It's like, wait, if you do this in the real world, you're an alcoholic.
Right. Right.
But if you do this and it's rush week or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
This is just business as usual.
So you went to like a more, because I went to art school, so we didn't have fraternities or sororities. We didn't have anything like that. Like the campus to me was in New York City. So you could be whatever kind of a college student you wanted to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I hated my college. I went to a small college in Orange County, Chapman. They have a really good film department, but I was coming from LA, so I was like, I could just go out to clubs in LA. Why am I in Orange County?
Right.
Where everyone's conservative and everyone's blonde. Everyone was so blonde. I remember my hair was like darker brown and I felt exotic.
Yeah, because I was like, I would like that because I would like to be different. And I feel like, some guys would really like that.
Yeah, some guys did. But then I had a really bad tanning addiction. Did you ever get into tanning?
No, my mom wouldn't let me, and I'm glad she didn't.
Oh, you're so lucky. My mom would be like, Sarah, you're ruining your beautiful skin. I'm like, leave me alone, Mom.
Yeah, no, I was like always very scared about like getting skin cancer. And honestly, my goal, like people sometimes online will tell me I look like Marilyn Manson trying to insult me, and I go, thank you. Honestly, that's what I was going for. Because like I'm not like Elvira, Jack White. These are the kind of looks I'm going for. It's not insulting. This is exactly who I want to look like.
I love that so much. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I had a weird tanning addiction and it was bad. Like if you look at my college ID, which I don't know where it is now, I showed it to Kim and she was like, you look like a light-skinned black girl. Like you don't even look the same. It's just the whites of my eyes.
Oh,
and like
no,
yeah,
Sarah.
it was bad. It was really bad. I also I would do spray tanning too.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
I've only once because I worked at a spa, and so they would have to test stuff out on me, and I just let them do whatever because it was just free services.
We love a free service.
And also I could just stop working and I could like get naked and go to the back. They'd be like, we need to test out this facial. Like I'd be like breaking out. I'd be like, whatever, that's 1 hour less that I got to work at the front desk.
Yeah,
I'd let them do anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, no, I remember I got a spray tan before prom and my date was Indian and I was darker than him. And like if you look at the photo, like I feel like I could get canceled for doing blackface if that reemerged somehow. I'm like, no, I just thought that was the vibe. It was like look like someone from Jersey.
I'm like, as someone from Jersey, I feel like everyone did get a spray tan before prom besides me.
Yeah, that's crazy that you're from Jersey and you didn't get into tanning.
No, I was like,
you're lucky.
I was like lighter, if anything. You know, I'm so crazy. I actually looked into like the Asian like skin whitening creams to make my skin lighter because I have very pale skin, but it has like a bit of a yellow tone to it, and I always wanted to have like pure creamy white
like
skin,
milk.
like a yeah. I was
Yeah,
always
I
very
like- I
like
get-
Kat Dennings.
It's like stunning because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. And I like your blue hair now.
Thank you.
It's so fun.
the blue black. Yeah.
I used to have blue.
It's pulled back because we're on like the last wash day. Because like, you know, they always tell you like, well, don't wash it too much, and then the color will come out. And it's like, okay, well, my head itches at this point. So
Like, I need to wash it.
Yeah.
But do you have a color conditioner?
I do.
That helps.
Yeah.
But I remember when I had my hair blue, my whole fucking bathtub was stained blue.
Oh, really? I mean, like I see the blue come out, but it's rinses away. Pink wasn't like I had also had pink. That was a bit of an explosion mess. But I don't know. I'm not like a neat freak, so that doesn't really bother me.
You're not. I don't think many comics are.
Yeah, no. It's interesting because it like annoys men, and I'm like, it's not your fucking apartment. I was like
men come over and they're like, it could be cleaner.
yeah, basically, I'm like, we're not married. Get the fuck out, bitch.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's,
Like,
that's the only people I've ever like it bothers other people more than it bothers me, and it's like it's just not that messy.
to me, my house, I like stuff. I like
Me too.
I like clothes.
Yeah.
So everything will be clean, but there's just a lot of it.
Me too. I have like a lot of I like a lot of things to look at. Like I want my apartment to be like the Patricia Field store. If you've ever been like the old Patricia Field store in New York City, like there was stuff everywhere to look at. I like that. I like a lot of things. I hate minimalism. I hate when you go into someone's living room. Like you ever see what Kim Kardashian's house looked like when she lived with Kanye? It's a fucking psych ward.
No.
It's crazy.
Natalie, can you pull that up?
It's just like white and there's nothing in it. I hate celebrity homes because they all look the same. Like, you know, Miley Cyrus has a really cool house and she actually like put some personality into it. But to me, like most people's houses are just void of personality and they're disgusting.
You know whose kitchen I love? Who? This is so weird.
And I love that we know this.
Cameron Diaz's kitchen.
I've never seen it.
Can we get a picture of Cameron Diaz's kitchen too? It's green.
Yeah, Natalie, you think you won't be able to find it? You will. Well, I follow a lot of like celebrity architecture and like home, you know, whatever accounts. Like even Travis Barker's home, he just did a spread with like Architectural Digest or something. And again, it's like you think it's going to be so punk rock, and it's not. Oh, that's great kitchen.
That's Cameron's kitchen,
That's a great kitchen.
right?
And then this is Kim and Kanye's
No,
Stop. Like
awful
why?
White House.
That's awful. I hate that house.
it is giving psych ward.
Yuck. Kanye, little did we know, was just trying to create the psych ward at home.
I don't really feel safe. White padded walls.
Yeah, I remember like that table is like a $10,000+ table, and there was like one episode where they like scratched it or something, or even probably even more, maybe like 50,000. And like Kim thought she scratched it, and she was so scared that Kanye was gonna find out. And I was like, "Are you okay, bitch?"
No, she's not.
She's not. And then we find out she's not okay.
She's definitely not okay. If you're
Not.
scared, like that's my nightmare. Living with someone who wouldn't want me to accidentally scratch the table.
Oh God.
It's like life's already hard.
Yeah, I know. And there's just something so unappealing about a male neat freak. Yuck.
yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the same person who came in my eye last night? Get the fuck out of town. Yeah.
You're not gonna come in my eye and then get mad at me because there's a scratch on the table.
Right. Like I don't want to live with like I don't want to live in a pigsty, but there's a happy medium where I hate when you walk into a house and it feels like not lived in. That's not fun.
To me, when I walk into a house and it feels not lived in, it's almost admirable. Because I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You might have anxiety all the time. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you do. You have anxiety.
It's not a museum.
I know. And I feel like my mom gave me the anxiety that she has about her house. Everything, it's like, I'm like programmed. She's like, the second you finish eating, you wash the dish.
Oh, God.
It's like, and then one of the best things about living alone is like, I'm letting a lot of shit soak.
Yes.
And like, weeks will go by, shit's just...
I let it smell. I go, when it smells, I know it's time to unload the clean dishes from the dishwasher and put it in the dirty dishes.
That's when I pull out my diffuser. Do you have a diffuser?
In my bathroom, yeah.
I love a diffuser.
I like it too. I never really got into it until someone got me a diffuser as a gift, and I was like, oh, I really like this.
It's really fun. You'll
Yeah.
get the oils. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm
I like
curating a vibe.
I liked it.
During the pandemic, I was like, oh, I guess I'll just buy more essential oils. That's the only thing I have going on in this small space.
I took singing lessons. Actually, I
did?
was inspired by Kim, yeah. Because she told me that she downloaded this app to take singing lessons, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. Yeah, I actually want to go in person and get singing lessons too. So
feel like-
one regret I have in life is that I can't sing.
I think about it all the time too.
Yeah. I would not be a comedian. Bye, everybody.
No, same. And also, I just want to make it so my voice is passable.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be, I don't need to be blowing the pants off people.
Mine's passable because I did musical theater, but I have a very small range, and I'm an alto, so like I would sing like I was in like, for instance, an all girls version of Guys and Dolls, and I played nicely because I needed to sing in lower octaves. I also sang "Love Can Build a Bridge" by the Judds as a solo in the 4th grade, and I'm still talking about it.
Whoa, you sang it as a solo in the 4th grade?
Yeah.
How did it come out? Good?
Pretty good.
Yeah, because you were dialed in terms of being like a perfectionist, right?
Yeah, I just like I asked the chorus conductor, I was like, why did you choose me? There's better singers. And he's like, well, you knew the song number one when and I said it was going to be the solo because I grew up on country music. My mom really likes country music. And then and I guess I was just like, that my overconfidence from a young age.
It's like,
I'm too confident. Like that's the thing. I have no idea. I walk around, I think I look like Adriana Lima.
I mean, same. Sometimes I'm so confident that sometimes when I see a photo of me, I'm like, that's not even me. I don't know. It's like an out of body. And like, who's in person?
There's been a mistake.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I don't identify as that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's so funny. I'm like that too. That's so.
People get so mad about it, and I go, I mean, like, it's nice. It's a nice thing to walk around overly confident. Most people are not confident. Sorry.
Especially as a woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't even think there's such a thing as a woman being too cocky.
Yeah,
it's just like we're so constantly
beaten down
by society that some of us have to put a little extra into ourselves.
Yeah, no, it's true because you never think because the confidence of men. The confidence of men, even like my dad, like he'll come out.
Yeah, let's take him down.
Let's take down Steve for a second. He comes out, his belly's hanging out over his pants. He's like, I look great. My mom's like, he thinks he looks great. He has the opposite of anorexia, like where he thinks he looks great, but he doesn't. It's like he thinks he looks like 40, but he doesn't. It's interesting. Steve, yeah. And I've noticed that a lot of guys are like that, where it's like their perception of themselves is so confident.
But then I like get into relationships with guys, and the ones that I think are confident, because it's like one of the most important things that I look for in a partner. And then it's revealed that they're actually the least confident person ever. And I have a really hard time deciphering faux confidence from real confidence. And I don't know how, and it's weird because it's like, I have real confidence. A lot of people on the internet will say it's fake confidence, and that's fine. Enjoy your day. I can't help you. It's a lot because it gets me into pickles a lot,
right?
Like because a faux confidence is the most dangerous.
Oh, where they say that because you have to date a woman that's powerful in comedy. You got to be confident.
Yeah,
you got to be secure within yourself.
Yeah,
because if you're not, you're gonna hate it, right?
Yeah.
Do you find that that's an issue?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
it's a big issue.
It is a big issue,
and it's like hard. Sometimes it comes like late in the relationship. You think someone's really happy for you, and then when the things aren't maybe going well for them, year later, then they're mad about it. Then they find an open micer who kind of looks like you, and they go live in another state, and then they quit comedy altogether. That's just a suggestion of a story.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean because it is interesting. They have to be confident, especially because you're like, I hang out with so many dudes all of the time just from doing comedy.
That's why everyone goes, why do you keep dating male comics? I go, well, because it's very hard to explain to my accountant boyfriend that I'll be out till 4 a.m. in a bar with a bunch of people, many of whom, I have had sex with once or twice.
Yeah. Where everyone sucked and fucked each other. Right. You're like, oh, everyone here has fucked the same people. Cool. And it's just normalized. Like coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's also like, yeah, I'll be home at 2 a.m. And they're like, I can't imagine dating someone who has to get up for like a finance job.
God, I hate having like vastly different sleep schedules from a partner that I have to spend a lot of time with.
It's a lot.
I once dumped someone because they had insomnia. I go, this is an interruption.
I'm gonna need you to fucking sleep.
It was so annoying.
Bitch, get on Lunesta. Otherwise, this is not gonna work.
Lay down and close your eyes. Be a team player.
That's crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't like someone with an insomnia either.
It was so annoying.
Yeah. When I was on Adderall, there's a lot of sleepless nights, sweetie. I'd be like up pacing the halls, cleaning my ex's living room because I'm just like.
And he didn't like wasn't bothered by that?
He was dead asleep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I used to be a more sound sleeper. I couldn't. I can't. Like the city fucked up my sleep patterns.
Really?
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed normally?
Oh God, 4, 5, 6. Bad.
I like that because I know that you're up late because sometimes I'll be up late and it'll be LA and then you'll be up still and I'll be like, hell yeah, Corinne and I are on the same schedule, baby.
Yeah, it's a lot of when the sun comes up, I go to bed.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know people always say that what is it called? Your circadian rhythm. Am I saying
circadian?
That?
Yeah.
Yeah, like your circadian rhythm. You're supposed to wake up when the sun. I'm like, yeah, but you're not supposed to be out telling dick jokes until 2.
Correct. Yeah.
So
God bless Karen Feehan. Her circadian rhythm is so on point. A lot of times she'll be on Instagram walking her dog when I'm going to sleep. And she's always like messes with like I'm in a group chat with her and she's always just like, your guys' sleep schedules is disgusting. And I go, that's why you have abs, Karen, and we don't. Very simple. Very simple.
She's regimented.
Yeah. It's very impressive. And like also apparently the sunlight that comes out first thing in the day has a different quality than the sunlight later.
Interesting.
I learned that from her. And I go, guess I'm just missing that.
Yeah. Don't care enough to wake up early.
Yeah. I was like, maybe I'll catch it. What if I catch it and then go to sleep with it? Is that okay?
I dated someone from Portland and it was bad, but also because
they were living in Portland actively?
He was living in Portland actively. And then when I went to go visit him in Portland.
Okay.
And he pulled out one of those lamps. The like happy lamps. I'm like, this is dark. I can't have you recreating the sun in the living room. It's time to move, buddy. If you need to recreate the sun, you're living in the wrong city.
Portland does have a very sad vibe.
It does.
Portland and Seattle both have that like, oh, I'm going to off myself.
Yeah. Or just become homeless and get a pit bull.
Yeah, also that.
That's a big scene there.
Oh, God.
That's our podcast. It was so much fun. Thank you for coming on. Where can
course.
people find you and do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, so I have 2 podcasts. I have Guys We Fucked, the anti-slut shaming podcast with Christina Hutchinson. That's a classic if you like sexuality and dating stories. Sara Weinshenk and Kim Congdon did an amazing episode.
Fun.
One of our top listener favorites.
I love that.
And then I have another show here on the Gas Digital Network called Without a Country. It's news with we roast the news so that you can handle it, and we cover it from the perspective of the right and the left, so it's not skewed. And then you can find me on all social media: TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Philanthropy Gal.
You're on TikTok doing the thing?
I am. My account's under investigation for being a bad girl right now.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'll get back on it.
What'd you do?
I did a couple things. One was I didn't know that you couldn't have a gun in the video. And there's this, but it wasn't it was just me at a outdoor shooting range with a large rifle in Utah with Shane Smith.
Okay.
And he was teaching me. Him and his brother were teaching me how to shoot a gun, and it just never even crossed my mind. It was such a fun, friendly family activity that you can't have a gun on TikTok.
A date took me to a gun range and I had a panic attack and we had to leave.
Was it a first date or?
It was a second date.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so did he tell you ahead of time that's where you
No,
were
it was
going?
a surprise.
That's straight. I'd rather have someone choke me without asking and take me to a gun range.
What, just rogue?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, oh yeah, I might not like that on the way there, hoping that he'd be like, okay, let's do something else. It still took me there.
It is scary because I've been to 2 gun ranges, one indoor, one outdoor. And the indoor one was the first one I went to. It's when they first opened one in New Jersey. And I went with my longtime boyfriend at the time. And he knew how to shoot because he was from Ohio. And I had the instructor working with me, and the instructor told me that I was so nervous that I was making him nervous.
No.
And I said, well, now we're both nervous. And of course, I had Googled all the deaths from the shooting range ahead of time, and there was only one, but it was crazy. Basically, they had given a 9-year-old girl a gun that was way too powerful for her because it fucking kicks back.
Reason. Yeah.
And it kicked back so much that it flipped and she shot the instructor and killed him.
That's fucked up.
Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great day. That's our episode. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review. New episodes every Wednesday, and we'll see you next week on Shank. Bye.